So how you doing, man?
Not so good. I think I died in my sleep last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, I stopped breathing.
Like sleep apnea?
No. More like, when you leave your body, and you can walk around and look at other people's bodies.
Wait, what do you mean look at other people's bodies?
I mean, well, when ghosts, they stand...
No, wait, you died. You left your body. And then your apparition traveled to look at someone else? Who?
Yeah. I think it was Pat Sajak.
Okay.
He's a cool guy.
But you could
I
visit
didn't.
anybody.
I
You saw
don't think
Pat
I had a
Sajak?
choice. I think he.
How'd you come back
summoned...
into your body?
I think I farted myself awake or something.
See, this is why we can't. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Raised by Toons. I'm Dan Handman Mason.
I'm Chad Cosgrove Cook.
And today we're brought to you by Chubby Boys. Don't forget the Orange Bane. And that must mean today we are doing...
Freakazoid!
Freakazoid, Freakazoid. Freakazoid, Freakazoid. Freakazoid, hey, Freakazoid, whoa! Freakazoid, what, Freakazoid? Freakazoid, Freakazoid. The Dr. Douglas, the computer ace. Wow! What?
Hey.
It was crazy, cause he's a lunatic. Floyd the Barber cuts his hair. Freakazoid chimpanzee is a lyric.
Maybe that's one of their barbers.
It is absolutely
one of the
batshit
people who
insane.
work on the show. They had a barber named Floyd.
This intro is one of the most batshit insane ones ever.
But it's awesome.
Freakazoid! That's right, Toonsters. We're doing Freakazoid, one of the best cartoons known to man.
Known to all man and dog.
And some species of squirrel.
Yes.
Freakazoid started September 9th, 1995 and ended June 1st, 1997 and was another Amblin baby. We're sticking close to camp on this one.
Oh yeah.
Amblin and Warner Brothers Television Distribution joined up with executive producer Steven Spielberg, and they gave us a little gem called Freakazoid, which is about this blue superhero.
Well, he's a well, I mean, it's the typical story of a computer geek gets superpowers, and through a weird computer chip, even though, I mean, well, I won't get into the, I guess, episode right away, but more just generalized about the show. He fights all these weird supervillains, but he defeats them in the stupidest ways, or just through confusion and just absurdity.
It is as much like when Freakazoid was first being created. It was created by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini.
Yes.
Bruce Timm being of the Batman animated series fame.
DC Animated Universe, folks.
Paul Dini being famous for Animaniacs.
Yes, he was on the team.
This pair doesn't seem like the likely team. When Freakazoid was first in pre-production, Bruce Timm was told that this was going to be an adventure. I mean,
like an actual superhero comic book themed show, and
with a slight bit of humor.
Yeah,
to be sort of the undertone. However, Steven Spielberg wanted it to be more like his other successors, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, Pinky and the Brain, and he made it not only straight humor, but batshit crazy.
Yes, and the humor here is all 90s pop culture, but also even further back references as well. But the thing is, as kids, we would have not got most of the jokes here. It was just sheer visual entertainment for us and zany sounds. But now, getting to watch it over again, you get to see all the side jokes that he makes that are just completely out there.
It is so hilarious. Clever. Yes. I did not realize when we were discussing what show we wanted to do next and we chose Freakazoid, I thought Freakazoid was a great cartoon. It was funny, and he was a wacky character. However, Freakazoid, watching it now in 27 years old, is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It not only does it hold up, you have to rewatch this, Toonsters.
Reminds me of my honeymoon. I've always wanted to say that. I don't know.
Can you wait outside?
What? You don't think that was funny?
Wait outside, please.
It was funny.
You can't talk for the next 10 minutes. So, Dexter Douglas, nerd computer ace.
Yes, nerd computer ace.
Going to the internet and was zapped to cyberspace. He turned into a Freakazoid. I don't even have the lyrics to this. I'm going.
Well, no, you had it down pretty well.
But yeah, Dexter Douglas was a nerdy kid, like Chad was saying. Typed in an error code and was zapped.
I have to correct you there. It wasn't him who typed it in. It was his cat. Mr. Chubbykins.
Chubbykins.
It's a cat that I would hold dear to my heart and that I would want to have and own.
You were just 4 cats in a human suit.
Yeah, that's
for the record, Toonsters. He is just 4 cats in a human suit.
One's about to give out, and they're gonna have.
He's always constantly wobbling around. Little cat limbs are like poking out of his shirt sometimes. But Dexter Douglas goes to Henry Connick High School, and it's full of little jabs like that. We won't go into the specifics yet, but we do want let's do our favorite clips.
All right.
Want to do that quick?
Yeah. Let's.
Because then we can get into the
we can get the depth of the show. That's true.
But we wanted to get this out of the way. Me or you first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
With the well, it's a reference to Sinbad that's made in I believe it's the second episode. I believe it's. I
want to go first.
Okay, you go first. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, because mine's available right now.
Right.
We didn't have his clip ready, and we ain't got time, Toonsters. So,
but yeah,
mine is the first episode. Freakazoid is handling Cave Guy, who is a Neanderthal blue caveman who is super intelligent.
Very intelligent. He speaks with the tongue of aristocrats.
The old school wasp. Yes.
But he breaks out in a rage every now and then with a complete roar and very sarcastic, very above other people, although he is below.
So as Freakazoid tackles this issue, the narrator is constantly bringing up this mysterious character who has this watch that turns beavers into gold.
Yes.
And he is the thread through the entire episode, and he finally appears to Freakazoid at the end of the episode. And what happens next is by far my most favorite clip. We're going to give you a bit. Chad?
Here we go.
You want to see something strange and mystical? No! Get out of here with that watch! Lay off the poor beavers, will you? Jeez! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you shut up, jeepers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!
Okay, so that was the clip. Paul Rugg? Paul Rugg, who was the voice of Freakazoid, ad-libbed that. Originally, he was supposed to say no, and that was it. But he went on a tirade and just started freaking the fuck out. And they kept it, which Chad and I, looking back, you can see that there was a lot of improv thrown in.
Yes.
Which just, you can tell, because
I mean, with this, you could do a lot of pop-up stuff, or which is like, I'll explain it to the audience. Pop-up is like when they take a script and they have voiceovers from off-screen or maybe you don't see their mouths and it's just ad-libbing, throwing funnier stuff in to make it funnier. And so I'm seeing it through this. Some of it's probably improv, some of it they wanted to go back and add, but it's still top-notch comedy.
You can always tell Chad and I have a trained cartoon eye. We're professionals in the game. So we can see that if they don't show the character's mouth and they say something that's a little off-key and quick, then it's most likely an improv scene.
Yeah.
But that was Paul Rugg doing an improv scene from the bonus commentary. They let us know that. Chad, what was one of your favorite clips?
Well, one of my favorite clips was, as I was beginning to say before, was about Sinbad. The reference they make is it's in the first episode of the series, and these kids are second episode, and the kids are sitting around a campfire at a camp, like a night camp, over the night camp, and they're telling scary stories, and it's kind of silly. It's like wood, and they're just ending it with something absurd, and finally it comes
Wouldn't it be scary if you reached for something and it wasn't there?
But it turned into wood. And so then we just hear off screen Freakazoid, and he goes into this statement about Sinbad, which I'll just play for you right now. And here we go.
The scariest thing in the world would be if they gave Sinbad another TV show.
And so that was that. They reacted complete. I mean, if you've seen the original Sinbad shows, you'd get the reference there.
He was, yeah,
very kind of not that good.
Didn't he flip? Wasn't there a little controversy about that back in the day? With him and Tom Ruger, the creator.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. He was the guy. I'm an asshole.
Well, no, yes. I believe like Sinbad, there's a recorded voicemail of like Sinbad yelling and berating him. I mean, I think we got it. You want to show?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play it for him.
Let's see if we have the clip.
All right.
Yo, Tom Ruger, what's up, man? It's Sinbad. I got a bone to pick with you, man. I was watching your cartoon show there, Freakazoid. In an episode that you wrote, you said the scariest thing in the world was for Sinbad to have another TV show. That's bullshit, man. I don't know where you get off saying something like that. Sinbad's show was a good, man. It was wholesome as shit. Jesse Jackson will tell you that. It's bullshit, man. That line makes it seem like you think my career is a joke. I was in a different world, man. That's a Cosby show. Also, I was in Coneheads. You know how many brothers were made in Coneheads? Just me and Eddie Griffin, man. I'm an American treasure, bitch. You know what, man? I'll show you. I'm gonna have another hit TV show, and you mark my word. The pilot episode will be called Fuck Tom Ruger. Goodbye.
Ouch. That's, Sinbad really tore him apart. That was really...
That sounded nothing like Sinbad.
What are you talking about? That was Sinbad. You know, he's from the first kid and all that.
No, I know
Jingle
who
All the Way.
Sinbad is.
Yeah.
That was the worst Sinbad I've ever heard.
Why would it be that is Sinbad? That's not the worst Sinbad.
If that was Sinbad... What? Oh, shoot, I'm sorry, man.
What? Your phone's going
vibrating.
on? What? You know what?
Ignore it. Okay.
No.
But that was the worst Sinbad I've ever heard.
What are you... No, that's...
But what was the Tom Ruger
They made the...
I got a voicemail.
You got a voicemail. You're going to listen to it now? Is that what you're doing?
Shh. One sec. Hold the shot. I want to...
All right. But...
Go. Keep...
No,
keep
we
going.
can't. We can't... What are you doing? You got to...
Holy shit.
What?
Chad, you got to hear this.
Yeah?
Holy... let's play it.
All right.
Okay. I got to play this. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got a voicemail, and let's listen.
All right, this is a surprise for me too, folks, so we'll see who it is.
Yo, Dan Mason. Yo, man. This is Sinbad. Man, I heard you talking about my voicemail to Tom Ruger on your podcast or something. Raised By Toons or some shit. No one knows what that is, man. And then I heard y'all making fun of me, saying that you agree with Freakazoid. You think it's funny to take shots at me, man? You know that guy, Chad? Chad Cook, right? Chad Cook's a bitch! You motherfuckers don't even know Funny that came up to you and said, hey, my name's Funny, and smacked you in the face. I'm an American treasure, man. I was in House Guest. I was in Good Burger. I was in First Kid. I was in Jingle All the Motherfucking Way, man. Best Christmas movie ever made. Raised by Toons, more like Raised by Goons. I'm gonna start my own podcast, post it on Podmatic, and we'll see just who's more popular than that dumbass site, bitch. Yo, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'll get off the goddamn phone now, please. I'm Sinbad.
Whoa. I hope he didn't, like, really upset him that much. Obviously,
Oh, now you're upset that I upset Sinbad?
Well, I mean,
He just threatened us. Raised by Goons?
Well, I mean, that was kind of funny. Like, Sinbad's a comedian. He's
a national treasure, apparently. and wait, we don't even record this show live.
That's true.
How did he hear about our Freakazoid episode?
I don't know. That is weird.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Is he outside? Is that what Sinbad just does? He hangs outside the studio?
That is spooky. Maybe we'll write him a letter or something, just to...
All right, well, let's get back into the episode.
All right, yeah, back to Freakazoid.
Well, thanks, Sinbad, for calling in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should take voicemails. Maybe that'd be
Let's not, because it turned out so fucking great the first time.
Well.
Anyway, let's do a fun fact.
Okay, fun fact.
And then we'll get into favorite characters.
All right.
How about this?
Okay.
Fun fact. Everybody sing. Here's a fun fact straight to your dome.
Stop.
Everybody, here's a fun fact home.
No, that was terrible.
I didn't rehearse it.
Well, okay.
Paul Rugg, voice of Freakazoid, became the voice of Freakazoid because he's one of the writers. So what was happening was they were auditioning different people to do the voice of Freakazoid, and during the demo tapes, somebody presented his demo tape to Steven Spielberg, and he was like, and Steven, quote, says, yeah, okay, whatever. And that's how Paul Rugg, the writer, was able to get a spot as the lead.
Well, wait, was he... I'm guessing he did work. He obviously worked with Animaniacs before, so I guess he was a part of that writing team, and he joined with Tom Ruegger, and then I guess they thought he was the most fitting for it. Is that so it just went through like that? Wow, that's pretty great that he could keep just being as zany as he was on Animaniacs.
And what an iconic voice!
Oh yeah,
Freakazoid is so well-rounded, and besides the caricatures that he could do, he could be real.
Yeah.
And that made it so much funnier.
Well, the one he kept going back to was like Jerry Lewis's, like, hey, lady in the bag, but he did that one. I remember he did that one a lot for Animaniacs every now and then when they bring in the actual, like, Jerry Lewis character.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, I was looking at some extra behind-the-scenes footage of the show, like on the DVD, and I got to hear his actual voice, and it's totally the same voice as Freakazoid. Like, it's dead on. He's not even doing a voice. He just exaggerates himself a bit, and that's Freakazoid. I was like, that's great.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
The way he can go in and out of being real and toning it down, and then completely exaggerating over the top.
It must take a lot of energy. I don't think I could keep that up.
You know what else takes a lot of energy?
What?
Him zapping around as a lightning bolt, yet he can't fly.
Well, I think it's a choice. Like, it's very, like, if he needs to get something done really quick, and it's, even though he's insane, he knows he's got to be fast about it. But I think when he finished his job and he doesn't need to be anywhere, he'll put his arms up in the air and go
he just runs around with his hands in the air.
And not even fast. He's not running fast at all.
Nope.
He's just running normal speed just through wherever he's going.
So Freakazoid had a plethora, Toonsters, of characters.
Well, I don't think we described... Did we get really into the description what Freakazoid really looks like? Like a red suit,
red jumpsuit,
blue face,
black mask,
black long,
like Super Saiyan hair,
like troll, those trolls with the little diamond in their belly, but with a lightning white stripe in the black hair.
Mine sounded way more masculine.
Yeah, You didn't have a troll that you wished on, made wishes?
I had a collection. That's not the point.
Oh.
I don't let the Toonsters know.
But, you know.
Because when the Toonsters hear my robust voice,
Yeah.
they automatically assume leader, strong, Conan the Barbarian. So if they knew I had a troll collection.
But that, I mean, well, I think they do now, though. You just...
I'll burn everyone alive. I swear to God you get this out.
Alright, let's get back to...
Characters! Cosgrove! Sergeant Cosgrove.
Well, he's, my favorite, too, but I have other favorites.
He
but go on.
Is voiced by Ed Asner.
Oh...
Dry, but delivers with a punch, my friends.
I wonder if he ever questioned the dialogue. If it's like, or do you just want me to read this? Like, just
don't do you even want me to read this?
He's well, like when that one where he goes to, he's got to bring Freakazoid to the hospital, but he stops at Chubby Boys.
Chubby Boys, don't forget the Orange Bane.
And he's just ordering, and he asks who's on the grill. Which is
who's on the fryer?
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. Oh my God, the dryness of it sells it.
Yeah, like, do you want to see a bear on a motorcycle? Right.
So Cosgrove's role is always popping in while Freakazoid is in the middle of a mission, and asking him if he'd like to accompany him to a bizarre event, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Like the Honey Festival or something like that.
You want to get a mint?
Oh yeah, mint julep.
Just pops in. Takes him somewhere. Freakazoid hardly ever denies it, except maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
One or two, but...
And then Cosgrove will be sitting with Freakazoid, enjoying whatever they're doing, and say, "Hey, weren't you supposed to be doing the blah, blah, blah?" Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he'll put him back on track, but they'll have some sort of, sometimes an existential little conversation, but it's very quip, short, between the two, and then back to what his mission is and who he's got to save.
He actually has a famous line.
Yeah?
He says, "Cut it out," a lot.
Oh.
Cosgrove will tell the villains to cut it out, and when he does, not one person has not stopped.
Yeah.
It's even gone, it's bled. In the comic books, the Animaniacs comic books, Cosgrove made an appearance.
Really?
He says, "Cut it out," and he actually made the Animaniacs stop.
Oh, wow.
So that is authority, my friends.
I mean, I think he's the chief of police, and they're in Washington, D.C., because Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton show up all the time, and they always have, like, some kind of short little scene.
It says it in the intro,
references.
too.
Yeah, and where was I fucking going with this?
Cosgrove!
Woo! But yeah, he's the chief of police. So I don't think he really has anything to do. Like, he's got desk work, but maybe he's really good at it and finished it, and he's just like, "Hey, I want to go with Freakazoid to one of these places."
Can we talk about the villains?
Yeah, no. Villains are one of the best parts of the episode.
You got CJ, which I won't... Can we say his name?
All right, say his name.
But then won't he come and tie us up with rope?
That's true. Okay.
Candle Jack.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
So
I won't say it just so someone will be here.
CJ.
Yeah,
for the rest of it, because we don't want. Because CJ is sort of he's an entity that comes in if you say his name, ties you up with a rope and takes you away.
And he's floating. He's sort of like a Scarecrow-esque type of body with gray and black.
First Scarecrow Batman animated series, not second version where he's
where he's more Chainsaw Massacre-esque.
Yeah.
But he's holding a candle on one of those little trays, which he holds steadily because he's floating in midair a lot. And then his rope floats as well when he lets go of it.
Shut up.
What? I'm
just question. Don't question it. He's a ghost.
Well, he got lured by pie. How does a ghost get lured by a pie?
Same way you do.
That's true.
Pie is every man's weakness.
It is.
From the beyond.
From the beyond to the whatever now is. This stuff now. Yeah.
The Lobe.
Oh, the Lobe. I think he's the best villain of the whole series because he just has a sort of disappointment about everything.
He points out the stupidity and the flaws that you might be questioning yourself with, he will say it.
Yeah, he speaks for the audience pretty much. And he'll, like, what was one of your favorite parts with his?
One of my favorite low moments was when him and Freakazoid were falling. And as they were falling, it just showed the floor, but you couldn't see them.
Yeah.
And, it's like, and he says, "Why is it taking so long to fall?" "Because it's funny." "No, it's not. It's just dumb." And it's so funny, though, because they show the floor for like 30 seconds before that conversation even happens.
Yeah.
It's so good.
One of mine is with where he's got Freakazoid trapped and all these like weapons aimed at him, and he's trying to give his evil plan, but Freakazoid comes up with his sidekick, and throughout the series he has like different sidekicks that just pop in and out.
Expendable Boy,
Expendable Lad,
Expendable Lad, Fanboy,
and then one is Mr. Handyman,
Handman,
and it's his hand, it's his own hand, and he talks like this, and he should. But
quite a love story there.
Yes.
Too.
Well, we'll get into that part, but the main thing is Loeb. Once he is introduced to Mr. Hand, Loeb just won't have it. He's like, "No, that's sidekick. I'm not gonna." And he goes, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is." And he lures him in, and the Mr. Hand punches him, but he punches the hand right back like it's an actual person. And so it goes back and forth, and he's defeated, and it just comes to this moment where he pops up before his whole building is about to explode, and he's saying, "The waiting is what kills me," and it sort of just speaks on so many levels.
Because he's watching the fuse go down.
Yeah, it's so good. But
Handman found Mrs. Handman, I guess.
Handwoman.
And
which is his other hand.
Yeah, so they got married. They had, I'm not exaggerating, a 10-minute sequence in one of the episodes about the hands just kissing.
Well, yeah, at first them meeting, kissing, and then and that's for like a good 5 minutes, and then it goes to a wedding, and that's like them being married to each other and then kissing for what, another
10 minutes.
10 minutes, and then the honeymoon.
10 more
minutes, and it was the funniest, even though not much dialogue to go along with it. It was hilarious.
And he says, "Well, at least you two are getting along better than the other two." And then they cut to his feet with faces on them, and they go, "You don't love me.
You don't know it. Quit your whooping, woman." That was a terrible voice on my part.
Whatever. Their feet. Who cares? We suck.
But the woman foot was hilarious. Just whooping. Whoop, whoop, and she's nudging the other foot.
So good. Watch Freakazoid.
Do it. Buy DVDs 1 and 2. Or
eat it with a bowl of cereal.
Eat it with a bowl of cereal. What would your cereal bowl of choice be for Freakazoid?
I'm gonna have to go with the crispy golden
flaky. Before you say that name, let me set up the scenario. You wake up Saturday morning.
Okay.
You turn on to Kids WB, and on comes Freakazoid. But wait, what's in your hand? What's in that bowl that you have?
I'm gonna say a golden, crispy, flaky, frosty, foaming, frothy, scrumptious, diddly umptious, soggy, smoggy, yet slightly salted and talted. Quisp. Kid tested, mother approved. I think that's Kix.
That's Kix.
But Quisp had the pink little alien creature with the little spinny thing on his head.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of an older cereal.
Do they make it anymore?
No.
Oh.
No, not since the Razor Blade incident of '83.
Ooh. Oh.
Look it up. So...
Easter eggs.
So those were found in it too.
Oh, jeez.
But I would go with a nice bowl of Quisp because it's got a wacky little character on it, just like our wacky little Freakazoid, Chad.
Okay.
I'm going to set up the scenario for you. Okay. You wake up in the morning. You're holding your teddy bear in one hand.
All right.
You're standing at the staircase with your onesie pajamas with the ass exposed.
Okay.
You're calling out to your parents. There's no response. You walk down the stairs. You see a note on the fridge.
Okay.
"Chad, we can't take care of you anymore.
Oh, no.
We don't love you. We never did. And a matter of fact, we don't think you're ours. Bye, Chad." So you pull the note down. You crumple it in the other hand with tears covering your teddy bear now.
Okay.
You fill the bowl with tears. What cereal do you put in that bowl?
Well, I would have to go with Apple Jacks.
He had an answer.
Apple Jacks, and as much as milk tastes good with Apple Jacks, my tears taste better. But I choose Apple Jacks only because the reference of Apple Jacks within the cartoon when it's a candle jacket. Oh,
son of a bitch!
Wait a minute. Hold on. This rope is not attached. I think I could get out of it. Okay. But yeah, so it was in reference to CJ. The where'd Dan go? Yeah. Okay. They referenced like, oh, I didn't say, Candle Jack. I said Apple Jacks. And so there, that's my reasoning really behind that cereal. Oh, he's back. He's back.
What the hell, man?
Well, I said it. I thought I was going to be taken away.
This show's going to be so much better now. Anyway, you're listening to Smooth Talk with Diamond Donovan Douglas. You can call me 3D. And, anyway, let's get back to some Freakazoid. Hey. Oh, hey, Chad. Anyway, Raised by Toons.
I farted my way out.
Yeah, what a shock that must have been. Anyway, let's talk about some of the segments in the show.
Okay.
The reason we might not be doing justice and you might still be questioning what the show is about, it's because the creators of the show really didn't know what the show was about. So, and that's true.
I would say, would you say that...
That was Tom Ruger that said that. Yeah. He was like, sometimes we didn't even know what the show was about.
Well, I think they were the first kind of cartoon that would do cutaways, but obviously they were not in context to any joke that was said before. It was completely different, or it was kind of going off on its own rant. Like, what was there was Jack what's his name?
Adventure?
The Toby Quest. Toby Danger was a separate little cartoon that was in it that popped up every now and then, and it was making fun of the Johnny Quest type of series, and it was very absurd and stupid, and the characters were just tweaked just enough to be like a parody of it, but also made such weird references as well, which was fun.
They were standalone.
Standalone. They could have been their own cartoon pretty much if they wanted.
Yeah, Tom Ruger specialized in just quick scenes with just joke, done. And it was super funny, but Steven Spielberg wanted him to stretch them out to half-hour episodes sometimes. So he brought in the other two writers, which were
Paul Rugg, Paul Dini, and some of the others from the Animaniacs team. I don't remember all the names, but they came in, and the cool thing is the segments were, some of them were just actual narratives to progress the cartoon, or just to cut out, like, so they didn't have to animate it. What happened, and so the guy's just reading. Yeah, he's reading. He's like, so Freakazoid did what he had to do to escape the trap, and he began on to the next adventure.
Or they just had a technical difficulty screen to just save on animation.
And, like, it would break the fourth wall.
It was the original Deadpool.
Yeah. He, there would be someone talking at a desk with a bunch of books behind him, and then Freakazoid would come and it's like, we gotta go back to the show. He's like, no, I want to explain this, and then that kind of just, like Monty Python type of humor.
Lord Bravery.
Yeah,
Lord Bravery was a little skit.
Well, but he was a superhero in the Freakazoid universe, though.
Yes.
Too. So they've interacted, but go on.
He was a John Cleese-like character whose cartoon segments were based more on the conversation and the dialogue more than a story arc.
Or actual heroic things.
He was very grounded.
Yeah.
As far, like, he could fly, he had the superpowers, but most of his scenes were him getting into a debate about something.
Yes.
Most likely why he's not really a great superhero.
Yeah.
But Lord Bravery, such a...
Was there an example like you liked?
Yes. One specifically was when he heard somebody shouting for help, and he goes down, and a man is trapped in a manhole in like the sewer system.
Yeah.
And Lord Bravery doesn't want to go in and get him, so he keeps asking for the guy in the manhole. Excuse me, Toonsters. Kept asking for Superman to come instead, and they basically had a 5-minute conversation, proving why Lord Bravery is not a real superhero. Until finally he gets pulled into the sewer as well, and they're both calling for Superman.
Yeah, and I mean that whole scene was just so well written, with just them debating over the reasons why he won't go in, and then why it's like, well, you are a hero, aren't you? Or
can you just climb out?
Just
if I could climb out, I wouldn't be yelling for help.
Yeah, it's just the most logical conversation you could have in a context like that. But obviously, a real superhero, that conversation would never take place. He'd be down there pulling that person out.
He was snooty.
Yeah.
But like all good things, they must come to an end. Mm-hmm. After 24 episodes, a very short-lived series.
Very short.
You
guys should have watched it.
You should have watched it, you little shits. Anyway, due to time changes, they were targeting the wrong demographics.
Yeah.
It was going over kids' heads.
Yep.
And they kept switching from in the morning till after school, and then switching at different days.
Yep.
It was one of those bounce around things.
I remember losing track of what when it came on, because like I wanted to see more, and then I later I found out it was off the air. But they did play reruns on Cartoon every now and then.
Cartoon Network in '97, I believe.
Yeah, and it became like a cult hit after that, with more people watching. Which I think they should have, if they waited with that show, which it probably wouldn't have worked that much later. But if they put it on Adult Swim, I think Adult Swim was on around '90s or late '90s, right?
Yeah,
still
maybe.
Like with Aqua Teen
and
all that
stuff.
Yeah, the earlier stuff. But if it was on Adult Swim, I think it would have been aimed towards the older crowd, which it is.
Yeah,
I mean, with all of the references and
but there's something so
jokes.
Humbling about the way he makes the childish jokes.
Yeah,
still.
no, there's still like he makes fart noises with his sound, and
they actually made a joke to the time switching.
Yeah,
the first episode where they made the leap to 3:30 after school, they had Freakazoid say he just did this huge mission and he defused a bomb or whatever, but we start the episode with him walking away from the smoke and everyone congratulating him, and he says, "Oh, you should have seen me earlier, kids. I just I started earlier today," or something like that. Or
yeah, and
they poke at it.
They poke at themselves a lot. Even in the intro song, they say we'll be unemployed if you don't watch Freakazoid. And I mean, I think it's just that smart of a show. It's very conscious of itself.
So what would you rate it?
What I would rate the show? I would say that's a good question. This
is good radio. This is listening to you breathe and scream.
I would give it a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 Pinnacle chips.
Ooh.
And to get that reference, Pinnacle chip that's the chip that caused the computer to malfunction and turn them into Freakazoid. It's not explained. I mean, it's explained in the intro somewhat, but it gets in more detail midway in the first season. You don't even know how it happens in the first episode of the show, but they get to it and they bring it up like many people were asking why Freakazoid's the way he is, and so they actually go into it in a 2-parter, which is a great one to watch. But I give it a 5 out of 5 because, I mean, even though it's all 90s references and everything, and that kind of humor, I would say it still holds up to me because I grew up on that was one show that stood out amongst all the rest. And like watching it again, it's even funnier than I initially thought it was. And I just love all the zany, like it reminds me of my own personality because I'm all over the place. I'm like, oh, paying attention to one thing, paying attention to the other thing, and I'll be obviously the way I'm freaking talking right now. I'm all over the place.
A giddy schoolgirl.
Yeah. So I mean, like I get all over the place with topics and blah 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 references. So yeah, I give it a 5 out of 5 pinnacle chips. That's what I give the show. Go you.
Toonsters. If we were to do anything, it's to introduce new shows to you, or have you relive excellent shows, or we'll do bad ones. It doesn't matter. We don't really have a purpose.
No.
Anyways, Freakazoid holds up. Never, I say this every week.
Yeah.
Never has a show done this. But then every week I come up with
I mean, this one you didn't say one of my favorite shows. You didn't.
Freakazoid is one of my favorite shows.
There you go. Now it's.
So, I would give this 5 out of 5 Chubbikins.
Chubbikins, oh, okay.
Because I couldn't think of anything last second.
Oh, well, you could have just went with Pinnacle Chips. And
Shut up,
Pinnacle
Pinnacle
Chips. Consensus.
5 out of 5 Pinnacle Chips. Because it makes me freak out.
I want to punch you in the jaw right now.
It holds up. It's insanely funny to watch.
Definitely.
The jokes that you missed before, you will now get. And if anything, you can hold this with such an appreciation for the fine writing, and watch it. It's not on Amazon. It's not on Netflix.
Well, I mean, you can, but it's not for free.
You can watch some bullshit stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
DailyMotion.com.
But I recommend the DVDs, best quality.
DVDs.
Plus, there's extras on the DVD, and it's great to watch. Commentary, just them explaining everything about it is just interesting to hear and listen to.
It's a great show. Do yourselves a favor and listen to it. Chad and I are actually going to go watch it right now.
Yeah.
So we ain't got time to dawdle.
Dawdle. I mean, how about, I guess, we're just going to freak out.
We're going to freak out, Toonsters. So until next time, my name is Dan Handman Mason.
And I'm Chad Cosgrove Cook.
And remember, if you weren't raised by Toons,
you weren't raised right.
Thanks for listening to the Raised by Toons podcast. Be sure to visit their website at www.raisedbytoonspodcast.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to their podcast on iTunes, and don't forget to follow them on Twitter and Facebook. Tune in next week to listen to two grown men who peaked in middle school try to relive their glory days on Raised by Toons.